Ignore these 7 vitamins after 60, and Alzheimer may come sooner. If you're over 60 and have started forgetting family names, or if you've ever stood frozen in your kitchen, unable to remember why you walked in, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this just aging? Or is it an early message your body is quietly sending? One of my former patients, Elaine, age 67, once told me during a routine checkup, "Sam, I feel like an old song slowly losing its notes." She was still active, ate carefully, but lately she couldn't find her keys, sometimes forgot appointments with her grandkids. That's when I began thinking not just about symptoms, but about deeper causes. Alzheimer's doesn't arrive like a violent storm. It comes quietly, like fog slowly covering your memories, one layer at a time. And what many don't realize is, it can begin with very small deficiencies. Vitamins that seem simple are actually the keys to keeping our brain sharp and alive. And here's the good news. Science shows that if we step in early, especially with nutrition, we can slow down or even prevent Alzheimer's from advancing. In this video, I'm Dr. Sam Wells, and I'd like to walk you through 7 vitamins that science has proven to be essential for maintaining memory and mental clarity as we age. Not to turn you into a doctor, but so that at 60, 65, or 70, you can still look into the mirror each morning and see a clear, confident version of yourself. Have you ever felt that way? Don't hesitate. Leave a comment and let me know which vitamin your body might be lacking. And if you find this video helpful, share it with your loved ones who might be silently worried about the same thing. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Wellness Unfolds, where every day we explore memory, health, and dignity in aging. Are you ready? Let's begin. Vitamin B12, the quiet protector of memory, keeping your brain from getting lost. Imagine this. You're talking to someone familiar, and suddenly you can't remember their name. You walk into the living room, holding your tea, but can't recall why you came in. Have you ever felt that way? Many people over 60 think it's normal, just part of getting older. But as someone who's worked with seniors for over 20 years, I know sometimes it's not just aging. It's an early alarm bell ringing for a vitamin B12 deficiency. One of my patients, Eleanor, 68, used to teach history. Her memory was sharp. She'd taught hundreds of students, but she came to me, worried. "I'm mixing up dates. I forget old student names. I'm scared. Doctor, we ran a blood test. It wasn't Alzheimer's. It wasn't brain damage. She simply had a severe B12 deficiency, a small nutrient with big consequences. Vitamin B12 is like a silent worker that builds protective sheaths around your brain's nerve fibers, called myelin. Without it, those sheaths thin out, and like exposed wires, signals get jumbled. That leads to memory loss, numb hands and feet, slow reflexes, even trouble with speech and focus. Scary, yes, but also hopeful, because if caught early, B12 deficiency is fixable. After 6 weeks of proper supplements, better diet, and careful monitoring, Eleanor returned to teaching at her local church. She told me, "It's like someone cleaned the fog off my mind." So why do older adults lack B12? As you age, your stomach makes less acid, needed to absorb B12. Long-term use of acid blockers or diabetes meds like metformin also reduces absorption. And your body can't make B12 if you don't get it from food or supplements. You simply don't have enough. I often ask my patients, have you ever checked your B12? Most say, never thought about it. And that's what worries me most. Not the deficiency itself, but how easy it is to miss. One simple blood test could tell you whether your brain is thriving or quietly fading. So if your mind feels foggy, your memory isn't as sharp, or you just sense something's off, don't ignore it. Check your B12. Ask your doctor. Act early, because nothing is more heartbreaking than losing your memories when you could have kept them. Have you ever checked your B12 levels? Leave a comment. If this video helped you, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Wellness Unfolds for more memory-saving guidance. You deserve a clear mind, not just to live longer, but to live fully. Vitamin D, the quiet light that nourishes memory and shields your brain from Alzheimer's. Picture this. Inside your brain is a small region called the hippocampus, your memory center. It holds names, family stories, life lessons, the places you've been. It's sacred. But what most people don't know is that this area is deeply sensitive to vitamin D. We usually link vitamin D to bones, but the brain needs light too. Not physical light, but a biological kind. And that's vitamin D. Without it, the hippocampus weakens, memory signals slow, old memories fade, and eventually, even familiar spaces feel distant. A 2014 study in neurology found that low vitamin D in people over 60 raised Alzheimer's risk by over 50%. Not because of genetics, not because of fate, but from a quiet, prolonged deficiency. I treated a woman named Margaret, 73, from Oregon. Not much sunlight there. She rarely left home, afraid of falling. Lately, she couldn't recall conversations from the morning. Her family feared the worst. But after testing, we found her vitamin D levels were dangerously low. We started supplements, adjusted her diet, and had her sit in the morning sun daily. 6 weeks later, her short-term memory noticeably improved. She spoke clearly again. Her eyes lit up. I'm not saying Alzheimer's is always simple, but sometimes what we need isn't a diagnosis, it's just a little sunlight. Did you know vitamin D is actually a hormone? And your brain has special receptors for it, especially in areas for memory and decision making. When D is sufficient, neurons fire stronger, and inflammation, a key cause of cognitive decline, is reduced. Unfortunately, people over 60 often lack D. Why? Aging skin produces less D. We stay indoors more. Some avoid sun due to skin cancer fears. Some simply forget to care about light. And that leaves the brain in silent darkness. Do you get sunlight daily? Just 10-15 minutes in the morning is enough. Have a chair on the porch. Take a morning stroll. Know any foods rich in vitamin D? Eggs, liver, fatty fish like salmon or fortified milk. Ever asked your doctor if you need a D supplement? If not, please ask. Get tested. Take control. Because Alzheimer's doesn't need a dramatic event to begin. Just a missing vitamin, a neglected part of the brain, a sunrise you stopped seeing. If you're feeling foggy, down, or mentally lost, ask yourself, have I lived too long in the shade? Do you get sun every day? If not, why? Let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to Wellness Unfolds. I'll be here daily, helping you light up your memory and age with clarity. Omega-3. The building block of memory and mental clarity in old age. I want you to imagine your brain as a city. Each neuron is a building. Every signal traveling through is like a stream of cars running on highways of thought. And for that city to function smoothly, the roads must be built with quality material that can withstand time. That material is omega-3, especially the two essential types, DHA and EPA. Many people think omega-3 is just good for the heart. That's true, but not the whole story. To me, omega-3 is the cement of the brain. DHA makes up over 90% of the fatty acids in the gray matter. It forms the membranes of brain cells. When your body has enough DHA, signals move clearly, quickly, and accurately. But when it's lacking, communication gets fuzzy, focus fades, memory dulls, and moods swing. I remember a patient named Gerald, 70, a lifelong accountant and avid reader. A few years after retiring, he started forgetting numbers, reading pages without remembering what he'd just read. Other doctors said it might be stress, aging, or even early Alzheimer's. But when I looked deeper, I saw that he barely consumed any healthy fats, and his blood DHA levels were extremely low. We started a plan: high-quality fish oil supplements, a revised diet with salmon, walnuts, and more omega-3 rich foods. 3 months later, Gerald walked into my office with a grin. "Doc," he said, "I remembered every cent my son spent this month. My wife says I might be remembering too well now." I wasn't surprised. Science backs this up. Regular omega-3 intake reduces brain inflammation, boosts memory, and can slow the progression of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. A study in neurology found that seniors with high DHA levels had a 47% lower risk of developing dementia compared to those with low levels. And it's not just memory. Omega-3 also helps regulate mood, calm anxiety, improve sleep, and reduce irritability. Things many over 60s struggle with, often in silence. But at this age, getting enough omega-3 isn't as easy as when we were young. Some seniors avoid fish because of weak teeth, poor digestion, or dislike of the smell. Others worry about mercury in seafood. Some tried fish oil pills but stopped because of reflux or stomach discomfort. So here's my advice. Pick what works best for your body. You might choose purified fish oil capsules with no heavy metals, or algae-based omega-3. A great option for vegetarians. Even foods like flaxseed, chia, or walnuts, while lower in DHA, still offer value. The key is this: don't let your brain run out of the materials it needs to stay sharp. You've lived with a sharp mind all your life. There's no reason to lose it now, just because you're low on omega-3. How do you get your omega-3? Through food, supplements, plant sources. Share your experience in the comments. Your story might guide someone else who's still unsure. And if this message helped, share the video with someone you love, especially those over 60. Subscribe to Wellness Unfolds, because the road to lasting memory doesn't have to be lonely if we walk it together with knowledge and intention. Vitamin E, the quiet shield protecting your brain from aging and damage. Picture this. Inside your brain are billions of neurons working constantly. They send signals, form memories, process emotions, and solve problems every second, from the moment you wake up to when you fall asleep. But like any complex system, the brain is vulnerable to damage. One of its most silent threats: free radicals, unstable molecules created during metabolism, worsened by stress, pollution, poor diet, and simply aging. These free radicals attack brain cells, breaking down membranes, disrupting communication, and slowly contributing to the decline that leads to Alzheimer's and other neurological diseases. That's where vitamin E steps in, nature's most powerful antioxidant. It neutralizes free radicals before they cause harm. It protects the membranes of your neurons, preserving the structure and function of your brain over time. Thanks to vitamin E, old memories stay intact. Your words stay clear, and your stories can still be told with warmth and confidence. One of my patients, Teresa, 70, came in complaining that her mind felt foggy, not serious memory loss, but she described life as if it were passing by, like watching her own days from the outside. Her diet was basic, low in oils, no nuts, barely any greens because they're hard to chew. Her blood test showed a vitamin E deficiency. We started a new routine: sunflower seeds, olive oil, a small handful of almonds daily, and green leafy vegetables blended into smoothies. 2 months later, she called me and said, "I no longer feel like I'm slipping past my own life. My days feel clearer now." That call moved me deeply. Not because she got better, but because she got to truly live her days again. When people think of vitamins, they often think of pills. But vitamin E can come from everyday meals: a spoonful of olive oil, a handful of nuts, steamed spinach, a smoothie with avocado or kale. That's not just food, it's brain fuel. Of course, if you have digestive issues, loss of appetite, or take medications that affect absorption, talk to your doctor about safe, balanced supplements. Remember, vitamin E is fat, soluble. Your body can't flush out excess easily. Too much, especially if you're on blood thinners, can be risky. My advice, from years of working with older adults, is this: start with real food. Go slowly. Be consistent. Let vitamin E enter your life through meals that feel like care. Are you eating enough greens and nuts every day? If not, now you know where to begin. Tell me about your eating habits in the comments, or what's stopping you from feeding your brain better. And don't forget to subscribe to Wellness Unfolds, where every day I'll remind you, old age can still feel sharp and clear. If you choose to protect your mind starting today, vitamin B complex, B1, B6, B9. The foundation nutrients for a sharper mind, emotional balance, and deeper living in later life. Imagine this: you wake up and your mind feels foggy. You struggle to focus all morning. There's this quiet frustration brewing inside, even though no one's done anything wrong, and you sigh, telling yourself, maybe I'm just getting old. But what if I told you that this tiredness, irritability, or scattered memory might not just be aging, but a silent signal that your brain is running low on B vitamins? I've seen this more times than I can count. One patient, Lewis, 64, a retired mechanical engineer, came in because he was snapping at his wife, couldn't enjoy time with his grandkids, and felt his memory slipping. Everything in his life seemed fine, but something inside him wasn't. Blood tests showed he was severely deficient in B6 and folate. B9. Lewis isn't alone. Vitamins B1, B6, and B9 are essential to produce and regulate neurotransmitters like serotonin, our peace, dopamine, our joy, and GABA, our calm. Without them, stress builds up, memory fades, motivation weakens, and many people over 60 feel this without understanding why. Vitamin B1, or thiamine, is like fuel for your brain. It helps neurons turn food into energy. Without it, the brain slows down, reacts sluggishly, and life starts feeling like a fog. Vitamin B6 helps make serotonin and dopamine the very chemicals that regulate our mood, memory, and sleep. Without enough B6, forgetfulness increases, moods swing, and sleeplessness creeps in often, misread as signs of depression or just getting older. Vitamin B9, or folate, is essential for repairing DNA and building new cells, including brain cells. When folate is low, your homocysteine levels rise, a known risk factor for damaging blood vessels in the brain and accelerating the path to Alzheimer's. A large study of over 1,000 older adults found that those with adequate B vitamin intake, especially B6, B9, and B12, experienced 30% slower brain shrinkage compared to those without. That's not just about memory. It's about slowing the aging of your brain itself. Here's the tricky part. Your body can't store B vitamins for long. You need to replenish them every day through food because they dissolve in water and wash out quickly. The good news is that foods rich in B vitamins are simple and familiar. Whole grains, beans, dark leafy greens, organ meats, eggs, dairy, almonds. But here's the reality: many seniors eat less, digest less efficiently, or take medications that interfere with absorption. Over time, they become deficient without knowing it. So if you've been feeling unexplained fatigue, quick to anger, or like your memory's slipping just a bit, your body may be signaling a need for B vitamins. And the beautiful part is you don't need to overhaul your life. You can start with a real meal: a bowl of whole grain oats, a serving of steamed broccoli, a warm glass of milk, and, if needed, a supplement with your doctor's guidance. You don't have to do this alone. I and this channel, Wellness Unfolds, am here every day to walk with you. Together, we'll nurture memory, regulate emotions, and live an older age that's not just peaceful, but powerfully alive. Have you felt more tired or easily irritated lately? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe to follow the rest of this series, because eating right, living well, and protecting your mind is something you still deserve at every age. Vitamin C, a small yet powerful defender against aging and cognitive decline. When you think of vitamin C, what comes to mind? Maybe a glass of orange juice? A fizzy tablet when you're catching a cold? But the truth is, vitamin C does far more, especially for your brain after 60. Picture this: your brain is working tirelessly, day and night, billions of cells firing, connecting, remembering, but they're vulnerable to damage from the environment, diet, and even from the natural process of aging. One of the biggest silent threats: chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. You won't feel them directly. There's no fever, no pain, but over time, they chip away at your memory, learning, and decision making. This is where vitamin C shines. With its potent antioxidant power, it neutralizes harmful free radicals before they damage brain cells. It also reduces inflammation, shielding your brain tissue from slow but steady internal attacks. A study from the University of Otago in New Zealand showed that people with low blood levels of vitamin C had noticeably weaker cognitive function. Research found that vitamin C may help prevent the buildup of amyloid plaques, a biological hallmark of Alzheimer's. One of my patients, Frank, 74, lived alone and didn't eat much fruit. He preferred warm, savory meals and strong black tea each morning. When he came in, he was moody, couldn't sleep well, and said he felt like his mind was slipping. Blood tests confirmed very low vitamin C. We started small: daily fruit, fresh salads with olive oil, a low-dose vitamin C tablet in the morning. A month later, he told me, "Doc, I feel like someone finally tuned my radio clearer, steadier, less static." Simple words, but they sum up what vitamin C can do for a tired brain. Beyond memory, vitamin C also helps your body absorb iron, vital for delivering oxygen to your brain. Low oxygen, low brain energy, fatigue, dizziness. Poor focus symptoms often mistaken for just getting older. So how can you get enough vitamin C every day easily and naturally? You don't need expensive supplements. Start with one orange, a few grapefruit slices, a handful of strawberries, a smoothie with kiwi. Small, consistent habits make a big difference. And here's what matters: your body doesn't store vitamin C. You can't load up for the week. You need it daily. If your diet lacks fresh fruits and veggies, or if you overcook them, you're probably not getting enough. Let me ask you this: are you drinking orange juice or eating fresh fruit regularly? If not, now is the time, before the first pieces of memory drift away. Because memory, like a garden, flourishes when cared for daily. A lemon wedge, a raw salad, a glass of citrus juice. Small things, but together, they build a wall against the winds of aging. Share below how you usually get your vitamin C. And if this helped you, subscribe to Wellness Unfolds. Together, we'll keep your memory and your dignity strong for the years ahead. Vitamin K2, the silent nutrient that supports smooth brain circulation and shields your nerves from chronic inflammation. You've probably heard of vitamin K1, the one that helps with blood clotting and is found in leafy greens. But what about vitamin K2? If that doesn't ring a bell, I hope you'll really tune in for the next few minutes, because vitamin K2 is what I'd call an unsung hero when it comes to protecting the brain, especially after age 60. It's rarely mentioned in mainstream media, not often advertised, and often missing from regular multivitamins. But recent studies are finally shedding light on its vital role, improving blood flow to the brain and reducing chronic inflammation in the nervous system. Two core pillars in the prevention of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative conditions. I once treated a patient named Ruth, 69. A woman who took health seriously. She got her calcium, took vitamin D daily, walked every morning, But recently, she kept saying she felt disconnected, losing track of tasks, feeling like her mind was dulling. When we looked deeper, we found her diet was virtually devoid of vitamin K2, no aged cheese, no natto, fermented soybeans rich in K2, and no whole dairy. We introduced K2 through diet and a specialized supplement. Just 3 months later, Ruth came back and said with brighter eyes, "I'm not only remembering better, my whole body feels like it's flowing better. I'm sleeping deeper. My head feels lighter." So what does science say about this? Vitamin K2 activates a special protein called matrix GLA protein, which prevents calcium from sticking to artery walls. In simple terms, vitamin D brings calcium into your bloodstream, but vitamin K2 tells it where to go into your bones, not clogging your arteries. That's incredibly important as we age because poor blood flow to the brain is one of the major reasons people over 60 experience dizziness, cognitive decline, loss of focus, and mild depression. Beyond circulation, K2 also helps reduce chronic inflammation in the central nervous system, one of the driving forces behind brain cell deterioration and the formation of amyloid plaques, a hallmark of Alzheimer's. You might be wondering, where do I get K2? It's most abundant in fermented foods like natto, a traditional Japanese dish, aged cheeses, egg yolks, organ meats, and full, fat dairy. But let's be honest, modern Western diets, and even many Vietnamese living abroad, rarely include these. We eat fewer fermented foods and often avoid fats. That's why, for people over 60, especially those taking calcium or vitamin D, adding K2 is something worth serious thought. It helps calcium reach the right places, keeps arteries flexible, supports brain blood flow, and most importantly, nourishes your brain in a quiet but powerful way. Vitamin K2 may not be famous, but that doesn't make it any less important. In fact, it might be the missing puzzle piece many people overlook quietly, until it's too late. So if your brain feels foggy, even with a good diet and regular exercise, you might want to take a closer look at K2. If this information helps you, please share this video with someone you love, especially if they're supplementing with calcium or noticing changes in memory. And don't forget to subscribe to Wellness Unfolds, where I'll keep guiding you through the nutrients that protect memory, clarity, and dignity, including unsung heroes like vitamin K2. And I want to leave you with this not as a doctor, but as someone walking beside you on this long road of aging. Don't wait until memories start fading, until names get harder to recall, or until you find yourself walking into a room and forgetting why to start caring for your brain. Alzheimer's doesn't appear overnight. It comes slowly, silently. It begins with tiny deficits we barely notice, skipping greens, staying indoors, weeks without fish or seeds, months of stress we just endure quietly. But the good news is we are not powerless. We don't have to wait for memory loss to defend our memory. We can act today with small, consistent choices. A glass of orange juice, a spoonful of olive oil on your greens, an omega-3 capsule taken properly. 10 minutes of sunlight each morning, a meal with beans, fish, seeds, and leafy greens. These things, repeated daily, become the quiet wall protecting your memory. We can't stop aging, but we can choose how we age. You can let it be a slow decline, or you can make it a radiant chapter where you remember your grandchild's name. Tell your life story clearly, and live with presence, clarity, and gratitude. I've seen it in hundreds of patients. People who chose to take ownership of their health, understand their body, and cherish their mind. And I believe you can do the same. Start today. You don't need to change the world. Just change how you take care of yourself. One meal, one cup of water, one small decision at a time. Because no one else can protect your memory but you. Sometimes, it's the smallest things: a glass of juice, a handful of seeds, a few minutes of sun that make the biggest difference in preserving what matters most. Alzheimer's doesn't come in a day, and prevention doesn't have to be complicated. You just need to understand, stay consistent, and begin now. If this video helped you reflect on how you care for your brain, then it has done its job. Share it with someone you love. A timely reminder might just save a memory. And subscribe to Wellness Unfolds, where every day I'll help you notice the little things that keep you present, clear, and truly alive. Thank you for spending your precious time here. I wish you good health, peace, and joy. See you in the next video.